Hello and welcome back. On the last episode, we talked to Barzum and Baisley, or Baisley and Barzum, whichever way you want to spin it on things. They were apparently trapped in a spooky-looking house, and then so were we. While they were trapped inside, they figured may as well prank us a bit. We were in a time loop, and apparently they were not responsible for. And instead of ending normally, this prompt came up. So, yeah. Time to figure out, time to understand, I guess, is the correct thing to say. Of course you do. Your sort of creature always does. You're worn out. Last night was, well, it sure was something. You lived, probably. You learned, definitely. And you made choices. You had to. And after all this time, yeah, you still are. So, after a day of recuperation from rages and houses of horror, you're out walking the streets of the place you may call... you may as well start calling home. You've changed out of your party gear, opting for your oddly old hoodie standby. It fits your mood you're in. You're not really looking to meet anyone new tonight. Well, you wouldn't say no, probably. You're just jonesing for it. Only a little. It's complicated. After an indeterminable amount of minutes of aimless walking, you look around to where you've ended up, and it seems you've wandered into a dirt pile. Oh, you know this dirt pile. It's Foz's corpse field. How did you get here, you wonder? You're pretty sure you were just on the other side of the city, with no particular desire to come anywhere near here. It's probably fine. Just your deep, innate bro-honing skills taking over your goddamn body. Just a little friendship thing. You look around for your pal Fozza, peeking down into a few of the deeper holes. You might as well say hello, since you're here and all. Holy crap, that again? Curiosity killed the cat, but you've definitely got more than 9 lives. So you shrug and slide, not gracefully, down into the shiny hole. Fozzer is nowhere to be found, but there is a window down here. It's almost completely unearthed, but it and doesn't take much effort to free it from the rest of the way. At first you think it might be some cool new trash you found to make art with. But when you look closer, you reconsider. There's a whole room you can see through. The pane of the glass are laying at your feet. That's weird. Weirdness isn't typically a deterrent for you. You. To use, okay. But usually, there's at least some... causational coherence. Doors are in walls are surround rooms. You aren't used to finding parlors in ditches. Is there a latch or something? Should you do a polite little knock? There might be friends in there. Damn, you could really go for some friends right now. Is there protocol for approaching ditch window? Allow me to stop you there. I'm a timeless being of the void, but even my patience has its limits. Fun is fun, but this frivolous navel-gazing is no longer necessary. Come in from behind the shadow of that narrative text. It's so very hard to see your face. You aren't sure where you are, but it's surprisingly a little nerve-wracking. You look over your shoulder at the window. You guess you just came through. This is us then? The Alternian sky is framed by the edge of your dirt hole, and the knot in your stomach loosens a bit. Hopefully, that means this is the two-way portal. We know you, don't we? Oh, those who read the comic do. You turn to look at your surrounding, and there's someone here. The guy you just heard, you assume. He doesn't look like any sort of the other aliens you've met. Oh, I'm not an alien, or no more than any of us are aliens to each other. In fact, nothing is alien to me. The root concept behind the term is alienation, being forced from that which is natural. Nothing is unnatural to me. I look upon all realities as equally inviting and approachable. It's you, my dear, who are out of place. I could see that even if I was not an omniscient, which I am. So not an alien, with no horns or caste sign. Though he's definitely not a troll. Whoever he is, he seems to be white, just really white, all around, and his outfit is admittedly kind of dope. Yeah, he's pulling off the suit pretty well. Looking at him really ramps you up your friend thirst. He's just got this quality about him, and you've got to get with. You take a step forward towards him, almost without thinking about it. Oh, my apologies. That compulsion has been extraneous. Let me take care of that for you. He snaps his fingers, and your knees buckle. The force of the universe presses down on you like a G-force. You blink, and somehow he's immediately arms outstretched to catch you as you fall. He steers you to a chaise lounge, and you drape yourself weakly onto it. Please have a seat. The emotional transition might be a tad uncomfortable, but I know you've handled worse. You're quite a soldier. Allow me to be the first to say that I'm very pleased with your work. I knew exactly what you were going to do. Well, of course. And most of your work was, in fact, my work. Regardless, congratulations are in order. What is this guy talking about? Your work? You try and you're trying to parse what he's saying, but your body is still shaking from whatever he just did to you, and it's hard to think in there. It's hard to think in here. You suddenly, sharply don't feel friendly towards him at all anymore, or towards anyone. The void left by that feeling is a freshly gaping horror. It's like who you thought you were caved in itself, a black hole of personality eating your own body from the inside. You try to pull your stuff together. He seems like he means business. This is no time to lose it, no matter if your sense of self is shattering. When you truly reflect on yourself, you surely can't, with any honesty, claim to believe any of this was by your own making. Crash landing on a hostile alien world, surviving the impact, dragging around a half-broken body, and somehow not immediately being eaten by the local fauna. Did you learn an alien language just by thinking about it very, very hard? Right. Malik said something about that you were speaking perfect Alternian, and it was kind of weird, but you kind of just accepted it, for no good reason. That's your whole deal. Your friends are all accepted your quirks. That's what friends do. That's what friends do. You say it to convince yourself as much as prove it to him. So many trolls, so many fascinating aliens, and all of them wanted to know you. Did you really think you managed that all on your own laurels? Were they all just drawn to the indefinable something? Je ne sais quoi? Well, yeah. You had this whole emotional arc. You got self-confidence. You grew as a person and helped others grow. The white text guy doesn't make expressions, but you get that he's feeling the feeling he's looking at you pityingly. I find you sweet, honestly I do. I don't intend to cause emotional injury. I'm just telling you the truth. I never lie, you'll find. It isn't like you don't have admirable qualities of your own, of course. You've made quite a valuable vessel for me, and I appreciate that very much. I could not have done it without you. I am only joking. I absolutely could have done it without you. It is just infinitely more fun to do things together, is it not? What things? What did he do? What did you do? You hope you didn't do something that would mess over all your friends. Though, when you try to think about them now, The bonds you felt before come up all twisted. Without the artificial friendship drive he'd given you, pushing you forward, you're not even sure what those memories are supposed to feel like. You close your eyes and breathe. You try to remember the way Polypa touched your face and you touched hers. Claws trailing down your cheek. Odysseus slept, trusting as you kept watch. How Tagore gave you a chance when he saw something in you didn't see in yourself. How, not that long ago, you got the chitter handle of an extremely friendly, jade-blooded boy. Those moments are like the memory of warmth to you, now blurry, cold, and out of reach. Was all of this for nothing? Your heart is a chasm. Don't worry so much about it. I simply needed some dots to connect it. Some pieces to place for my next move. Choose whichever metaphor suits you. Whichever way you frame it, because of you, everyone will soon be in the right place. Crap, what have you done? Your head starts to spin and you think you might cry, so you pull your hood over your head to block out the harsh green of the room. You try to imagine it. It smells like a little like Malik. It doesn't. It doesn't smell like anything really. But you remember what it smells like at first, and you hold onto that. It was real, you tell yourself. Your friends were real, and what you felt for them, and with them, was real too. You're so afraid of them. You're afraid for them, sorry. As guilty as you feel for craving it, the fear just makes you feel those feelings you felt before even more. You're clawing desperately for the euphoria of caring, of being cared for. Who cares if your hand was forced? You felt it, and it still matters. Matters. You remember how it felt watching Trixie perform, bathed in the light and righteous anger, and how you drunkenly commiserated with her later when, no, that's not right. That didn't happen, except you still remember how hungover you were the next day. Just then you started making sense of things. The whole world shifts under your feet again. You can't keep up with all this moving real estate in your brain. Ah, yes. All of the resets, annoying but necessary. You're just indescribably bad at keeping yourself alive and in one piece. And you weren't quite as adept at befriending aliens to start out with. My intervention was necessary to keep you on the right path. Time and space mean very little to me, but I had to move quickly and, again, repeatedly. Swipe some incriminating note-taking here. Befriend an impressionable young upstart there. Anger the koala bear, sorry. Inspire some bandits. You know how it is. Okay. So, taking Tizzy's notes. Impressionable upstarts. I don't know. Angering the koala bears, obviously, Wanshi's route. The bandits is Skylar's. You know how it is. You have to throw the temporal spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. I'm sure if you look at back, you'll be able to see traces of my deft touch. So, a few memories may have slipped through the cracks here and there. Timelines tend to collapse in on each other if you aren't careful. Your ability to mentally withstand such an event, and so often, is a testament to my acumen in choosing you for the task. You even almost caught on a few times, which I must say I was not expecting. You almost listened to the silly little girl who likes to dress up in big coats and cause me trouble. That's Boulder, right? And as always, some bystanders end up caught in the crossfire. The one with the shovel, for instance, I doubt his mind will ever be the same. A pity. So that's why Fozzer's route was so confusing. You sit up straight and clench your hands into fists. Over the course of his pompous monologuing, you've moved past fear and grief and onto a deep, globe-chafing rage. How dare you do this to your mind, to your friends' lives? What was so important that the wipe orb person had to mess with the destinies of everyone you've grown to care about? There are answers out there, and you deserve them, and so you demand them. Adorable. Yikes. You shift on the chase lounge so as to better hide your famous legs from the creepy round guy. Oh, calm down. All of you and your adherence to societal expectations and archetypes. Perhaps one day you could just learn to take a compliment. Besides, I was being condescending. So you demand answers. He sighs theatrically. You aren't sure where the noise is coming from. He doesn't have a mouth. How is he even talking? How the hell does any of this work at all? I knew you would, but I find explaining myself incredibly tedious. Suffice to say, I'm a man with many boards and fields to play, and altogether there are countless ways to move the players around those boards. Some are doubtlessly more entertaining than others. You are simply one pawn among many. I won't bore you with the details. Doubtless you are aware of the greater contextual framework of the story. The hell you are. You aren't aware of anything. Your head is full of question marks. Oh, of course. How thoughtless of me. See, yet another unfortunate side effect of the limitless conversing with the narratively limited. He taps his thumb and forefinger on his orb. Perhaps it would suit you better to understand gradually. And when I say gradually, please understand that I mean it. You won't be leaving. But yes, I do believe this will clarify some things for you. This way, please. He opens the door and gestures inside. There's light coming from in there, but it still gives off the vibe of a dark closet door in an unfamiliar bedroom at 3 a.m. You're afraid, yeah, but you want to understand even more. You stand up and take a step, conscious of the movement of the muscles in your leg. With the rosy sheen of your friendship hypnosis or whatever he did to you gone, the sensation of moving your own body is heightened. Important, yours. There's probably a version of you that would try to turn him down, but that would fight, or run, or take a nap on his surprisingly comfortable piece of antique furniture. You even consider rushing back to say goodbye to somebody, anybody. At least, but you know there isn't time to click through all that nonsense. Those temporary flickers in your mental periphery so tangible that you can almost see yourself choosing one, but you pull your focus back to your present and look him right in the orb. So is this supposed to be like there's no choices? You just have to trust that they'll remember you, because the you you've become after this journey, after all this friendship and growth and death and time, like you need to understand you owe it to your friends, but even more you owe it to yourself. You found your river, and you're going to see where it leads. So you follow him. Sit here, please. In the interest of expediency, I will leave you to your own devices while I go deal with an expected but entirely unwanted guest. It shouldn't be too hard to parse out the truth on your own. All I need to do is read this brief webcomic. And with that, it has opened up a certain webcomic on my internet browser. So with that, that's the, I believe that was the epilogue of Hosts. Excellent. Yeah, thank you for stopping by. It's a short one, a short video, but yeah, that's all there is. With that, goodbye.